All right, so we are going to start in just a second here. Welcome everyone to a divination stream. We have a special guest, Hermes, joining us. Not the deity, but representing. Just joking. So everyone, if you're in the chat, go ahead and you can start signing up for the divination, and we're going to do a little intro, and then we'll get started. So if you need a drink, grab one. If you're excited and you can't wait for lunch, grab a snack. And we'll be on in just a second. I'm so excited. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I see we've got a couple across Twitch and YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you on now. Is that okay? Cool beans. Yeah, it's funny. So now you're on audio and visual. It's funny, I can see you, but you can't see me sometimes. So welcome, Hermes, everyone. I'm gonna. Oh, my mic went decided to fall down. I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a little bit about, obviously, your name, where you're from, if you want, a little bit about your path, and what kind of divination stuff that you have for us to be able to use today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really glad to be here. A bit of background. So I have a multicultural background, mostly from France, but I also lived in the US, in San Francisco. My birth name is Adrien, but I have several personalities, one of which is Hermes. And when I got this name, I decided to honor the god Hermes and to do as best as I could to honor him. And that comes with using divination and specific kinds of divination that are associated with Hermes, like the
Mm-hmm.
tarot or ornithomancy, so analyzing the birds or other messages of the gods from dreams or other kinds. Analysis of names as well. Nomen is a Latin saying that says that the name is an omen, and it is one of the divination that I like practicing the most because whenever someone introduces themselves to me, they have
Mm-hmm.
a name, and they may respect their name or they may not respect their name, and that is a very interesting way of guessing what someone may be like. And today, what I suggest I might use is either some specific runes created for myself, which use astrological symbols, or the tarot. But I would very happily describe other divinations as well, like nomen omen. For instance, I have an example here of a nomen omen divination I did for someone, and I'll happily speak about that if you want me to.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask you a little bit because I was also gonna ask you first, like try to do it in order. You said that tarot is associated with Hermes. I did not know
Like
that.
so it's not associated with Hermes. If you only look at Hermes as the son of Zeus from the Greek mythology. However, when you start
Mm,
associating Hermes with Thoth and with the alchemist Hermes Trismegistus,
mm-hmm.
and when you start looking at some tarot, like this one, for instance,
Oh,
has
that's so pretty.
an
Wow.
so this is the card of the magician, the magus, and this has obvious
Yeah.
references to Hermes, like the wings
Yeah.
on the heels. There's a caduceus. There's
Oh,
the
yeah.
symbol of Hermes, the symbol of Thoth. So Hermes is very strongly associated with the tarot in some circles, and the tarot that I use the most is called the Thoth tarot. Thoth being syncretized with Hermes is the closest Egyptian equivalent to Hermes. So yes, there is an association with Hermes and that.
That's really cool. Yeah, I remember when we were doing the Tarot 101 streams, one of the things that T would talk about is that to look at the cards and to see what it's not just what is the image. I have a pip deck, so mine's not fun. But like also like what colors are used and what is in the imagery as well. What kind of
Yeah.
deck do you have, by the way? That's so pretty.
So I with me, which are very different. The first one I showed this card. This is the
Hmm.
Thoth Millennium Tarot. The Thoth deck, Thoth Tarot, is a tarot that was created by the occultist Aleister Crowley, early 20th century. British occultist who did a lot of very interesting theurgy, including with Hermes and Jupiter. So you can find online a lot of things about Aleister Crowley. His religion is called Telema, which is Greek for will and will or willpower. And his tarot is very interesting in that it uses a lot of alchemical and astrological symbol. Like, let me find another example. Like this, for instance, is yet another card that is associated with Hermes. It has the symbol for Mercury, and this is the symbol of chaos magic here for the Eight of Wands. And so that's one of my favorite tarot when I deal with something that is somewhat esoteric in nature. because it has so many of those esoteric and astrological symbol. The other one that I have, which is completely different, but very useful when I deal with people who are not really interested in the occult, is the science tarot. So the science tarot uses only
Oh.
scientific concepts. So you can literally, oh, you have a cat.
I
Wonderful.
have two cats. Yeah, that one's a Dino named after Dionysus. And so he's always getting up in here.
So the science tarot has a lot of scientific elements all over it, but also some here you can see the sign for Aries. It's also kind of an egg. There's a hive pattern in the background, a lot of things related to the stars and a little bit of astrology, but the astrology and the esoteric part is not in your face. And it also has a lot of very interesting historical figures, scientists, and so this tarot is very appropriate whenever I want to do tarot with someone who's not into the occult or astrology, but who has some scientific background. This tarot is perfectly appropriate, and because it uses words like equilibrium, or
Yeah.
symbiosis, or technology. This
Yeah.
tarot is also a very good deck to prepare a speech about something related to evolution and science. So
Oh,
literally just by
interesting.
so I could be talking about the professor, the hierophant, and then start a story which then goes on to the innovator, and then the revolution, bonding and natural selection, and all of that with this tarot. So it's a very
Wow.
tarot also to give you a strong vocabulary of scientific concepts that can express meanings that are similar to the tarot cards. So, for instance, death is represented as phase transition, and so
Yes,
if yes, it represents death really well, a phase
it does.
transition,
That's really good.
and this
That's
tarot
so
is named
cool.
the Science Tarot, so you can it. It's easy to find in the US, the Science Tarot, and I heavily recommend it. The last one I have, which is more difficult to find in the US, is not exactly a tarot. It's more of an oracle, and it has a selection of Egyptian deities. Most of the Egyptian gods and goddesses, most, it's difficult to say most because there are so many, but the
Mhm.
crucial Egyptian gods and goddesses are featured in the, and this is the one I use when I want to pray to the Egyptian gods.
Oh,
And it's also it's a bit of a portable altar to me. So whenever I
really? That's so
travel,
cool.
yes, yeah,
And so
and
it has, like, really nice picture. I can't wait to see it now.
the 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 yes, the picture are
Wow.
really nice and really detailed. You may be able to see some of the symbols, thoughts is associated with the moon and with right, and so he has a parchment. Anubis, who is also associated with Hermes, is
Yeah.
the jackal god who takes someone to judgment, and
Uh-huh.
there's an association with a snake. It always has. They all have the scarab, Kefri, who's the god of alchemy in Egypt,
Oh my
recycling
god, I love these
literal
colors.
shit into sun, God who helps the sun rise every morning. So this tarot is a very good one if you're interested in getting closer to the Egyptian gods and goddesses. It's called Les Messagers d'Égypte.
Do you
I
mind?
don't
Okay,
I don't
I
know
got it.
whether it is available in the US yet, but the name of the author is Iliad with a Y, so like the Iliad, except it's a Y instead of. And she also has an Instagram with a lot of with many pictures of the Greek gods. She's a very talented artist. Like she gets the muses perfectly. So here are
Yeah,
the
I
three
was
tarot I
wondering,
use
I
the
think
most.
I've seen her work before. I've seen some of her posters. I'm, like, looking for the for the deck right now. Oh, I think you can get it on DeviantArt actually here. I try to make sure we
Great.
have the links for like some of the tarots in case people are interested um, in getting some for themselves. And so you are multi pantheon.
Mostly Egyptian and Greek, but very open to the others. Like what I consider that all the gods are one very big family, and that
Yeah.
yes, and that they're all like cousins. To me, Loki is like a cousin of Hermes a lot, and so I work with many pantheons, but mostly the Olympians, the Egyptians, and the Norse.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I lost my voice there for a second. That's really cool. The Norse as well. Egyptian. So I'm gonna go put this in here. These links. So I'm just throwing some links in the chat. Can you see the chat actually too?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I wasn't sure. So many of these technologies, I'm not on the other side, so I'm like, I don't know. Okay, so I put those links in there, and then so we're just sharing on. No, I'm just sharing that we're on a couple of our friend partnered servers, and so let me say, let me just also. I don't think I can bring my second camera into this. Let me just see here for a second. Add. I cannot. So normally I have one camera here, and then I have my other camera that's like facing down on the desk for
Oh,
actually
to show
doing
what's on
the
your desk. Yeah.
yeah to show the cards and
Yeah.
stuff. But I don't know how to do that. This is great. It gives me opportunities for learning how to do different things if it's possible or not. So I have actually with me, so I'll show my decks now too. So I have the Mythic Tarot, sorry, not Mythic Tarot, Mythic Oracle. Mythic Tarot is a whole different deck, and it's not an Oracle deck. And similarly, I want to grab the posters from the artist for the Egyptian tarot deck, the Iliad. I love
Iliad.
their work. It's so
Yes.
nice. Oh my gosh. I will say, like, it's so I brought that up because I love this deck. It's also like really pretty, and it's I might have favorites. I might have favorites of my
We
decks. That's
we all do
like children.
when we find decks which really resonate with us. It's so much better than a deck that is standard. Um,
Yes.
mm,
And it's I'm a very visual person, so I'm like, ooh, it's pretty. So I have my Mythic Oracle deck, which is different from tarot decks, and then as I mentioned, I have a just a plain Rider Pip deck, but mine is in French actually. So the words, I'll show you the back cover here. They're in French.
yeah.
It was not on purpose. It was just a deck that I found. So mine is just plain. And then you mentioned you have some Rune Stones.
I do, but they won't look that good on camera. I made them
Mm.
myself, and so they are
Oh,
small.
cool.
Yes, so they don't use the Norse runes, but they're like runic symbols or the alchemical symbols. So mostly symbols of the seven metals, and then on the other side
Wow.
some other symbols that are related to alchemy. So they're alchemic runes that I can use to connect to the energy of metals or of planets, because metals and planets are related. And so it's yeah, just a set of eight, no, seven of those is very easy. Like I put those is in this pouch, and whenever I get anything, it's like, oh, Poseidon energy, so okay, I'll go this way. Psychic, the trident of Poseidon, that's a
Yeah.
symbol. The bident of Hades would be, oh, who amongst the dead would be able to help me there, and can I channel them in this situation? So they divination that can really help me at different stages.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. I have just the Greek alphabet deck, but I did not make my own. I might make my own next actually, but so I just have the Greek alphabet stones, and they have different meanings correlated to them. So I'm put them actually over here because they're loud.
Another divination that I don't know whether you practice or not is with books, so bibliomancy. So this is a little book of philosophy, philosophy
Mm-hmm.
quotes, And so in a conversation, if I feel like it's going on a tangent that I don't really like, then sometimes I will just be, oh, who wants to talk philosophy? And I would open at a random page
Yeah.
and just magically, because now I don't believe in randomness anymore. It's all
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
I would stumble upon one that I already I put signs on the one that I like the most. So I literally just open it and, oh, the greatest sin of the world, of the modern world, is the refusal of the invisible. And I think this sums up divination so well, because divination works with invisible forces of,
Yeah.
it's not randomness anymore. It's going to be exactly the right card you need for your tarot reading.
Yeah.
And so that little book, which I can easily carry with me everywhere I go, it's even smaller than a
Hmm.
tarot deck, can really help in so many situations just by bringing exactly the kind of quote that's needed. Mm.
That's awesome. I've never heard of that before, actually.
It's called
That's really cool.
bibliomancy, and that also works really well. It,
I'm not,
it's
you
it's it's a it's one of the things I use to connect with
continue.
the
My
spirits.
cat just decided to be a jerk. Being
he,
indecisive.
he doesn't know what he wants,
He does not know
like
what he
cats
wants.
often.
This is my baby boy. So bibliomancy. I was gonna type that into the chat. No, no, no.
Bibliomancy is also a great way to connect with animals if you use the fables, because you can just
Oh.
open the fables and then, oh, it's going to tell you about some animals, some wisdom. If you have a book of myth, it's also one that will connect you to the gods who want to be present in your day. And if you have books by dead people, you can connect to their spirit this way. Like I do that a lot with authors I really like, and reading them in their own word, I feel that I can receive messages that are appropriate to my day. So especially Carl Jung, for instance, the psychologist, is one who I really often just open a book about one of his book,
Mm-hmm.
and will every single time get accurate messages to my situation. So
That's
that's,
really cool. That's awesome. Now, I'm gonna mute my mic for a second, and not for like a second, but I'm when we were chatting very briefly before we started the stream, you had mentioned the details about your name, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm gonna mute myself so you don't have to hear me clacking away while I also share on a couple more of our servers. Seems like today might be a slow day, but that's okay because we get to know you better. Woo!
yes.
I'm very excited. So I'm gonna let you. I'd love to if you could explain more about your name because, I'll just say I'm not great at words. So when I first saw it, I was like, Aermes, and that's not right, obviously. So explain this letter for people who may not know, because I do see a lot of. Is it Greek? Is it a Greek letter, or is
So
it?
it was not used in the Greek alphabet, but it was used in the Latin alphabet.
That's why I
It's
see it a lot when it comes to like
Yes,
older
it's used
texts.
in
Okay,
Latin alphabet, not in Greek. Let me find something.
because I see like a lot of the people on our server have different letters, not English letters, and I'm like, I don't know these. I've never seen these before. So, uh, context would be amazing because I loved it. So I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna post a little bit more. So
Yes. So my name is Hermes, and you can pronounce it like the god Hermes with the H letter, but my name starts with the ash letter, A-E. A-E is the ash letter, like in the ash tree. Yggdrasil is the ash tree, and like the ashes of the phoenix, and like Ash, the god of the oasis in Egypt. Ash is a god of the oasis, who's really closely related to Set, the god of aliens and strangers. And so I chose that name, or rather, I consider it imposed to me, and I worked a lot on the signification of this name, how this letter contains an 8 as well, and the symbol of the infinite. and how that differentiates me from Hermes with an H, the god you all know, but that also connects me to him deeply because the you can also see that this ash letter is kind of a bent H joining itself with the he, and so you see that's what I feel happens alchemically. H he of Hermes becomes A E, and then the beginning of my name is thus Air, A-E-A-R, and A-E-R is also the name of the other name of the goddess Chaos. The goddess is also named Air. And so to me, that's a reminder that every minute of every day, I should not believe that the world originates from chaos, from something random, chaotic, K-O. No, K-O is, but from something that is more like air. Like it's like everything is air, solidified at different rates of vibration, and that's how I decide to live my life. And so Hermes to me means messenger of air, and maybe sometimes a bit of messy air. But in French, mess means the mass. And so it's the core idea of my name is that messenger of air, messenger of this goddess who's not random chaos, but who is actually order of a kind that is difficult to grasp because it's like quantum physics, it's complex, it's divine and not accessible easily. But via divination, I try and access this magic, which is this is a symbol of chaos magic, and chaos in a way can be much more than chaotic and much more friendly. So that's the meaning I put behind my name.
I forgot my mic was muted. I was saying that's awesome. That's I just stuck with the name I was given. And I love that. I noted before, and I'm sure people can see it, but like that your hat has like little has feathers, so it's a Hermes hat. That's so cool. I love when people get dressed up. I have to here. This is a good opportunity. I'll shill my swag. Um, so I love people wear stuff
Oh
for
goodness.
the show. Yeah, this is actually one of our new T-shirts,
That's
and it was
awesome.
this. Yeah, it's Zeus making a electric animal. It's
Which looks a little bit like Pikachu.
yeah, no, it's Pikachu. It's
Yes,
totally
I love
Pikachu.
it. I love Pokemons as
I just
well.
can't. I just can't be like it's Zeus with Pikachu because I can't sell that.
Look,
But
one of the book I also use for bibliomancy is a guide of Pokemons, because then I can just find a Pokemon and it has specific attacks that I can use to so one of the things I do in life is I'm basically some kind of a magician who jokes on people on the street, and
yeah,
so someone who takes themselves too seriously, I can literally just get a Pokemon and send them an attack of something because they were not nice with me or something. That I love Pokemon. And about swag, another of the thing, like this is a Hermes scarf,
that's so
and
cool.
this one I modified so it's the AE like in my name, but otherwise it's the
Oh,
brand
that's
Hermes. But this
hilarious. I
one is a
love it.
special one that I modified, and this one is actually great because it has so many symbols of the Greek
Yeah,
gods.
yeah. I see the
Like
feather and
there's an owl for Athena here,
oh
so an
wow.
owl. So yeah, this is an owl,
Oh, I
which
see
is
it. Yeah.
it's associated with Athena and
Mm-hmm.
with Hades. The screeching owl is associated with Hades, and here
It's
you
on
can
my
see that
desk.
the yes, and here this owl has a trident, which is actually a bident and a spare. So it's like the spare of Athena and the bident of
Hmm.
Hades with an owl. So
Yeah.
and then there's the albatross, which is a bird of poetry that I associate with Apollo, and
Yeah.
there's the
Well, poetry
raven.
in general with the muses is like all Apollos. Yeah.
Yes, and the raven is also Apollo. It's a bird of prophecy
I
of
didn't know that.
Apollo. And on the other side, there's the eagle, Zeus, And there's the frigate bird. I don't know the name in English, but in French it's frigate, which is also the name of
Hmm.
a ship, and so that's the bird that I associate with Poseidon. And we also
That's
have like a
awesome.
whale. So this scarf is like it's one of the first time that I felt I received a gift from the gods, because it was
Oh,
just
that's
covered in so
awesome.
many symbols of the gods that I couldn't. And it's not even like the artist behind this scarf is not did not even intend for it to be about the Greek gods. It's the
Oh,
Maori gods.
happy happenstance.
I don't think it's a happenstance. I think that these gods are the same family, and that they send gifts to one another's, and
Yeah.
that this was a gift from the Maori gods to the Greek gods. And so when I found it, it was like I need to get it. I need to get it. It's
Oh,
gonna
I like
it's
that the gods are giving each other's gifts. That's so cute. Here, I gave
yes.
you a thing.
Yes, that feels like exactly that. And by wearing it, it's like I remind myself that all the gods are working together. And so this is a great reminder that wherever I go, whichever are the
Yeah,
gods in presence, I feel that I'm good. And
that's
yeah,
awesome. That's so cool. Because of course we do have so many people from different pantheons in the Discord and in the world, and some of them are multi pantheon. And I always talk about it. In my head. I'm like all the different gods from the different pantheons live in like a cul-de-sac, right? So they can like pop over to each other's houses, but like
yes,
they go back home. Um, and I was someone was on one stream, someone was asking, it was being like, oh, like they are Christian, and I think it was in the last one, and I was like, well, like why can't but they think that they thought they were being like something was going on with like another deity from was it a Norse pantheon? I don't remember, but it was from it was from one of the pantheons, right? And they were like, and I was like, well, I'm like, if you're cool with it and you think that you're like Jesus, your deity, whatever, is cool with it, like why can't they just be like, hey neighbor, I like need some help with like a specialty. Would you like help my dude down there for me, like on the earth? And I'm like, why can't we call in specialists? We can totally call what like, yeah. Um and it
it
allows for to be open to like whatever is coming for towards you or being
yes, and
given to
and I describe my religion as syncretism, and syncretism is the study of parallel pantheons to see how you can potentially link and merge them together. And so
you. Yeah.
syncretizing two gods means that you take Hermes and you take
Mm-hmm.
Thoth, and you see
Mm-hmm.
how you can blend them together. And maybe they will want to be named Thoth when they are talking about hieroglyphs, and they'll want to be named Hermes when they are talking about luck, but you can see them as just one deity who can also split if need be. And the same happens when you take Hermes and Anubis. Anubis is like the psychopomp of the Egyptians. And so you can have Hermes and Anubis together. And they actually have temples in Egypt to Hermanubis, the blend of Hermes and Anubis, who becomes a new god, who's like, in a way, maybe the child of Hermes and Anubis, but it's called syncretism. And so when you
Cool.
start doing this with different pantheons, it's like it works so well that, for instance, you can see Loki as being maybe the trickster element of Hermes, and the two of them can be Loki and
That's
Hermes
cool.
playing pranks on each other, but they can also fusion, syncretize together into something more. And that way that works to connect also with the Christian pantheon, because if you look at the Christian pantheon, you have
Yeah.
Christ and his Father and the Holy Spirit, and then you have the angels. If you look at Archangel Michael slaying the
Yeah.
dragon, it's basically Apollo slaying Python. And so
Oh,
to
that's
me,
interesting.
yes,
Oh,
Apollo
that's
and
so cool.
Michael are like they syncretize together into one, and they have different vibes depending on who they connect with, but you can consider them more or less the same if you look high enough, or you can
Yeah,
prefer to keep them separate, and that also
I've heard people tell me that they or that there a lot of the myths overlap in a lot of religions and stuff. So uh it can be, yeah. And that's, I mean, that's Pantheon, yeah. So a most sovereign lady is our mod here. And as you can see in the chat, we do have somebody in queue. And of course, we're talking about when that is your UPG, Hermes, right?
That is what you can consider that my UPG, but you can also see that it's what syncretism leads to. If you start
Yeah, because we were talking about
taking,
syncretism. That's right.
yeah,
That's
so
right. We're talking about
syncretism,
how your practice is very syncretism.
syncretism is literally you take two paradigms, and two different religions are two paradigms, and you see how you can make them work together, and
Mm-hmm.
you can apply that to Christianity as well. And if you apply that to Christianity, that works. That gives a potential for the two
Mm-hmm.
to work together, with like God the
That
Father being Jupiter. Deus Pater is literally the root of Jupiter. Yahweh, Jov, Jehovah, the same root as well. And so you
this could,
start,
you could go super deep on this. This sounds really
yes,
cool.
yes.
This sounds
Uh,
but we do have to keep on topic for the
but
stream.
divination,
So
yes, yes.
yeah. But divination. Yes. That's, let me just like put that, like, was it on a list somewhere to, like, we can discuss for a later day. So we do have Phantom Punk. Hello, Phantom Punk. We have some people, obviously, and first and foremost, I want to say thank you to Emo Sovereign Lady for being our mod. I appreciate it. And obviously also thank you for joining us, Hermes. I forgot to say that in the beginning, so I apologize. So we have Phantom Punk, who is looking for some divination, and I'm just gonna hand it off all to you, my friend, and unless someone is specifically requesting me. So Phantom Punk, I guess. So the way I do it, Hermes, is I ask them what's their question and what is, oh, some spiritual tea. Oh, I'm ready. I got the tea. Let's go. Um, so I always ask them like what they want me to do the divination from. So you said you have the Egyptian deck. We have the, hold on, I got them. We have the science deck. We have the Iliad, Oracle, Le Messenger d'Egypte. I did actually take French for a little bit. I've been trying to learn French over and over again. I never get it. um, so we have those, and you have the runes that you made, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And also books.
So Phantom Punk, what is your question? And what deck do you want? The science deck, the I'm just gonna call it the Egyptian deck, uh, or the runes. So, and sometimes people say
Or the
they don't
tarot.
know and they just have the question. And then I'll be like, oh well, I think you're gonna get a better answer from this. So if
Yes.
someone,
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know if
that
you've
works.
watched our streams before. So
I haven't, but I think I understand what you're aiming for, and
yeah,
I'll happily help.
let's see. So what's coming up? And the Phantom will take the runes. You can see the chat, right?
Yes, I can see the
Awesome.
chat.
Oh, I'm
So
so
the
excited.
runes, let's see what they have.
I'm very excited to see this. I made you big on the screen so that they can see better.
So I'll do 3. Okay, wow. So we have, at the first is symbol for earth. Second is a symbol for chaos magic. And the third is a symbol for Mars. And so what I read in that is that Earth, chaos, and Mars. The Great Army is something that is starting to awaken and will try and help ordering the chaos that has been spreading over Earth. The chaos that is not a type of chaos that is the one we need, that is the one Earth needs, but that is the kind that has led us to a situation of contrast, of difficulties, of a spiritual war between the ones who see the invisible, between the ones who connect to the spirits, and between the ones who are purely materialist, between the ones who see that Earth is something that is unlike anything else, and between the ones who think that they could just go on Mars and terraform Mars. That's not a good idea. Like, Mars is a god of war in the sky. It's also a message that to overcome chaos, you cannot be on the side of peace at all costs. You have to agree that some war is good. The war against injustice, the war against perjury, the war against kleptocracy are wars that are necessary for the world to be able to move from a state of chaos to a state of harmony, to a state of where chaos does not represent the state of affair of the world, but represents one of the force that we could use to create from. Creative chaos is a good thing. That's what you touch in chaos magic. Creative chaos is something that we should all feel free to express. Dionysos is a god of creative chaos.
Oh, I love Dionysus.
And he's also very martial. Dionysos is also a warrior who was waged
Oh my
war
goodness,
on
he's
King
ruthless.
Pentos. King Pentos is a good example that this reading brings to mind, because Dionysos has the element of chaos in him. Dionysos has the element of the warrior. And Dionysos also has a very close connection to Earth. Like in some Orphic hymns, Dionysos is connected to Demeter and to Gaia. And King Pentos is a myth that represents what happens when men think that they can say no to a god of creative chaos when he comes back to his land and asks to open his cult and to be worshipped. So this is what I felt from those three runes. I hope that it resonated with you, and
That's awesome. I love, and I also love that you went into depth on the chaos, because a lot of people, very similar to the death card in the tarot, which obviously means like something is ending and there's like it's a new beginning, or it's opportunity for a new beginning. I feel like there is this negative association with things like chaos, because they're like, oh no, it's chaotic, like everything's gonna go up in the air and my life's gonna be topsy-turvy and it's gonna be awful. And it's like, yeah, but also like you said, the creative comes from chaos too. um so yeah, I'm glad that helped Phantom Punk there. And yeah, I love that you went into that, because it's really important to realize that things that I think sometimes that sometimes we'll be like, okay, this thing is bad and this thing is good, and it's not always like that,
that's
you know.
the work of the alchemist. So I'm very adept at alchemy. This is one of my alchemic book, like Hermetic Philosophy of Alchemy, Kybalion. I
Oh, that's
heavily
very cool.
recommend. And in alchemy, whatever you take, as long as it's not, let's say, a very high principle and a very high god, like Maat, goddess of truth in Egypt, you cannot really do that with her. But if you take anything that is not so high as Maat, for instance, you can split it into the good and the bad and work on the two as separate. If you take just about any public person, for instance, or any god, you can separate them into the good positive side and the negative side. For instance, Dionysus. Dionysus, great at creative chaos, at a great warrior. But Dionysus also has negative side. If you look at Bacchus, the Roman Dionysus,
Yeah.
it can also show a kind of a degenerate civilization that loses itself into earthly pleasures and forgets to also stand straight on some of what matters. So Dionysus can also have a negative side. Dionysus, and the other gods are the
Yeah,
same. Like,
every god, all the gods in my opinion. I mean, it's just like that's what I love about them. They're very, ironically, I'm gonna say it this way. Ironically, I would call them the very human. They're multifaceted, and I really love that about them. Um, can you just show that book up one more time? Because I think I have the right link for it, but I just wanna. And it, who's it written by?
The three initiates. So this is a great
Okay,
example of
I do have
authors.
the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, and those authors, the three initiates, they didn't even consider they should sign the book. They considered that they were channeling Hermes in the book, and that they were just giving messages from Hermes and the gods and spreading those to humanity. And that's a beautiful way of working with the gods. The What I think is that the muses are the children of Jupiter, Zeus, and his memory, Nemesis. So
Mm-hmm.
that kinds of give the everything that comes from you, the muse comes from the brain, the memories of Jupiter, and so if you want to channel the muse and just do that without necessarily claiming to be the original source, that's something that I think pleases Jupiter, and then he can give credit to the one he feel deserve, like Homer or other great authors. But
Yeah.
the fact that so
That's
many
really
of the
cool
great,
that they took it as like a channeling thing. That's real. That's yeah.
well,
I think that's what we
most,
do here too. That's
yeah,
we try to channel the messages from whoever to you,
yes,
the
yes,
viewer.
and that's what I feel I'm doing when I'm doing divination. It's like the cards or the runes come via the gods,
Yeah.
and then the messages I feel also come, and so I can give the credits to them. And naming myself Hermes, everything I do, I give credit to Hermes. So that works.
um yeah, so Phantom Punk had a comment. He was like, yeah, it's all perspective, the good and the bad. I'm gonna highlight it one more time. By the way, guys, I just discovered that I can pull these messages up on the chat like this, so I'm really excited about it. um and if y'all hate it, let me know. But I love that I can, because it feels very like news anchory, like this message on the bottom of the screen. Hi, panda person. So yeah, they're saying some of those positive intentions kind of the worst consequences, and sometimes the same with the opposite. I always say that good people do bad things for good reasons sometimes good people do good things for bad reasons, and like, same vice versa, bad people can do good things for good reasons, or bad people can do good things for bad reasons, and it's all about kind of not only your perspective but also the intention. Let's see here.
I
List. Oh, the
really
list is
like
empty. The queue's empty right now, Panda. If you want to use it, you can use exclamation mark join. So, Panda person is asking, "How are you?" So, how are you?
wonderful, wonderful. And about what you just said, I think that one of the eldest religions of the world is Zoroastrianism. And Zoroaster said, "It's good words, good deeds." And that's such a good guideline in life. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. If you follow that, and you will get well. You will get well. And in Egypt, they say that
Yeah,
Thoth is the god of the thoughts. He's the god of thoughts as well. And so when you end up at judgment, the Egyptian judgment, the one with the scales and Anubis and Maat and Thoth and
I
Osiris.
love the snails. What? That was so cute. I
it's
want.
it's
I'm a Libra. I need scales in my house.
yes, yes. And so when you come to that judgment, Thoth knows all the thoughts you've ever had. And if you've looked at Disney, the show Loki on Disney, Loki is caught, and then he goes through a room when they ask him to sign. This is everything you've ever said, and the gods record everything you think, you say, and you do. And once you start accepting that, whoa, there's an all-seeing eye of maybe the all-seeing eye of Ra in Egypt, or the all-seeing eye that Zeus is supposed to have because he can see through the ethers. When you accept that and you start acting like the gods listen to everything you do, then you will start
Yeah,
purifying yourself. And Kefri is a god who symbolizes that purification and rebirth,
yeah,
and he does that through praying. Kefri also means in French qui prie, who prays, and praying, praising the gods is what I can suggest to do to elevate oneself. And
yeah.
divination is one tool to connect with them.
Yes, that's what I always looked at it as because I have a friend who does tarot readings professionally, and there was a big thing when I started using tarot. It was like not cool. By the way, Panda, please make sure to let us know, Panda person, which tarot you want, or not which tarot, which form of divination. You got the Egyptian tarot, the science tarot, and the runes. I do have my stuff as well, but Hermes is our guest today. And while we're chatting about this, so Panda person wants a love reading, by the way. So, but we're just waiting to see which method of divination they want, or if they don't care at all. Okay, they want the runes. So I'm gonna let you pull those runes for a second while I do
Okay,
this.
runes.
Yeah. So there was a big thing with my friend where she was like, that's my thing, and I'm like, well, I'm just using it to talk to the gods. I'm just using it as like a walkie-talkie, you know. Um, and so it was, that's how a lot of people use it. Ooh, we've got a rune scam. I'm gonna shut up now.
So first rune is chaos, the symbol of chaos. Second one is a symbol of Ares. Ares, which I'll talk about at length. And the third one is Mercury. And yeah, I have something here that happens to be a very good prop for that reading, because who's the god of love? Eros, right? But here
That's
I have
exactly what I thought
right.
of.
I have a channeling that's a channeling that I did of art, which is, you want Eros, you have to accept Eris. Eros is meant to be with Psyche, the soul. The quest of the soul is always love. And which kind of love? The love of the gods, the love of Eros, the love of Amor. But Eros, if you want the golden ratio there, that's the golden ratio, the golden number phi, then you get to Eris. You have to accept Eris. You have to accept discord in the way you're going to find love. Yes, soul, you're meant to love Eros first, but then you have to fall in love with Eris too, because Eris is also the planet after Pluto, and it's about the same size as Pluto. It's very important. She's not like a minor goddess. She's the one who started the fall of Troy as well. And the
Yeah, I was about
lesson
to say
of the Iliad, basically,
she's important in some
the
of the
lesson
myths.
of the
Yeah.
Iliad, uh, your voice is distorted.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Hello?
I don't understand you. Your voice is distorted. Sorry.
Hello? Can you hear me? Is that good? Hold on, I want to
I
fix
can
it.
hear you, but your voice is distorted in a way that I don't
Uh,
understand what you say.
can you hear me now? Is this better? Hello?
Still distorted, but I can hear you slightly better. But still distorted, like very, very low, very, very low. And so about Eris. Eris is a very important goddess. The whole of Iliad says that if you do not invite Eris at a wedding, which is a metaphor of life, if you do not invite Discordia in your life, you're going to end up losing something you value a lot, which can be a civilization. So that reading, Chaos, Eris, and Mercury, as a love reading, suggests that if there is chaos in your life, you should call the mediator. Hermes is the mediator. Hermes is the one who can help with chaos. Hermes is the one who can turn chaos into air. Air is the other name of chaos, which is more organized. And Hermes is also one who deals with Eris quite well. Hermes as a trickster, he has some kind of a discordian element to him. And when you learn the language, Hermes is a god of language. When you learn the languages of love, which is not just about Eros, but also about Eris, then you can connect with the Eris part of the feminine, the discord of the feminine. If you look at movies like we had a guest with 007 in his name. Uh, James Bond is not just a lover who's all about Eros. There's always a bit of Eris, a bit of discord between him and the James Bond girls. This is the kind of love that a reading about Chaos, Mercury, and Eris brings to mind. Learn to deal with with discordia. Learn to deal with Aermes, and that will make you a much, much better lover. If you can bring good discord in your love life, like good tension, and then solve it. If you can react well to just about any conflict that may arise, then you'll be a great lover. Is what I suggest. So my memo for that is, remember always Eros, Ares, Eros, Ares. That's a very strong guide for any kind of love you want to find in life. I did not hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it better at all? Oh.
You sound like Darth Vader. You have a very low, yeah, Vaderish voice right now. So maybe someone else has a
Hello?
divination question in the meantime for our
Hello?
host
Can we hear?
finds her microphone.
Okay. Iron Liberty. Okay. It was.
Well, in the meantime, I'll suggest few things, like the cards that come in my divination. Here is the card of justice, and in the science tarot, justice is associated with conservation of energy, cycles, and that's a great way of seeing justice. Conservation of energy, cycles. Conservation of energy is also related to karma when you think about justice, which is have we lost our host? No.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. But that's a I don't know what happened. Like, you were sounding fine. And so I was saying something about justice, and until there's a new question, I think I'll go on with whatever card comes. And here is Amut, a Egyptian goddess of justice and punishment. Something I said earlier about the need for war to exist, like there's Mars in the sky, like no, there's no goddess of peace with a big planet in the sky, but there's Mars. Is also present in Egyptian justice. Like, you need justice, you need punishment for a justice system to work, and that's something that you can consider on the scale of the soul as well. Like, karma and justice imposes that some people will get deserved what they deserve. Like, everyone will get what they deserve is the message of divine justice. Maybe it's my audio not being good. You can try again, because but on my audio you sound laggish, but maybe they can hear you, in which case we can.
Let's see.
So yes, Griffin Puff. Griffin Puff. You don't have a specific question. Basic reading through the medium of my choice. Let's see. And I'll take this other tarot, the Thoth Tarot, and see what it gives us. I'll do 3 cards. Griffin Puff, 616. Your name will inspire me something. I know what a griffin is, so maybe that will inspire the griffins in all of us. And okay. So first card I get is a 10 of Swords. So 10 of Swords in this deck has a very interesting message to give us. So here we can see justice, we can see things representing science, time, religions, different various religions. Like there's a symbol for Allah with the sun and moon and star, for Yahweh with Star of David, science, which is attached to Kronos or Saturn, Christ, and justice. And in the middle, we have the heart, which is badly damaged or hurt. Swords represent the mind. It's the element of the mind, of air. And what this card has to tell us is that if we go too far in the mind, if we try to reach all of those mind things, then we often forget the heart. And this is something that many have a tendency to do. Like I have that tendency from time to time. When we get to the 10 of Swords, it's time to start forgetting a bit about our brain, about that mind, and to connect more with the heart, to go more where the heart wants us to go. Because once you understand that all of these are working together for us, together for the ones who are doing good, then you can get a bit lower on the mind and get closer to the heart. The card, so that's where we come from. Let's see, it could be some roots for that reading. If we are reading a tree, we read the roots first, which can be the past. Roots can be related to the past, but not only, they still grow. The way to move from the 10 of Swords this way to the 10 of Swords reversed is to agree to have the heart lead the swords, to have the heart lead where the mind go, to have the heart lead the army. Then at the center, which can represent the trunk or the seed of that tree, the present in a way, we have the Prince of Pentacles. Here you can see that this card has elements of luck over there with, oh my goodness. Well, it's a symbol for luck. It has riches, like a golden globe, symbol of dominion, the globe with the cross, a winged helmet with a winged, oh, you have trouble hearing me as well? Winged helmet, and he carries riches, and he's being led by the oxen. That's thank you. This conveyed the idea of knowing what you're working for, knowing that you have worked enough to be content with where life is leading you, and building from the earth. Like there's a lot of you build from the ground up in this card. There are grapes in the background. If you want to have the grapes in the Dionysian way, it's better if you have built something sturdy from the ground up beforehand. And the symbol of the wings is just on the helmet. You have the mind flowing, but everything else is very earthy on that card. An idea of productive work. And there, for that reading, the branches of that tree or the future is the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, wands, symbol of fire, symbol of the soul, is what I see there is that it doesn't matter so much what you want that tree to look at. it looks like a candle. It's like, whoa, once you have fixed the Ten of Swords issue and your roots are well connected with your heart and swords, your mind working together, once you have started to build from the ground up with this kind of energy, like real work, sturdy, then you can just light up whatever you feel you're doing, and you will be found by the ones who are seeking souls like yours. This was this reading.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me now? Hello? I have a cat. Can you hear me at all?
I still hear you with a distorted voice, but I can make up what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I think if you can try to unplug and replug your headphones, Hermes, because people in the chat, people on the stream, can you guys hear me okay? It shows my bar moving, so I think the sound's coming through.
I'm
We
going
also
to
now have
try
a cat.
doing that with my headphones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, so it's probably on your end, yeah. There's always some sort of technical issue. Oh no, what happened? Okay, you've been able to. Thank you. I appreciate. Okay, so I have 3 mics here, you guys. I don't know. I think they left the. I think they accidentally left the stream. I just realized I've been out. Oh, they're back. Oh, now we can't hear you at all. Make sure that it's selecting the right audio piece in the stream settings. Hold on. Technical. There's always some sort of technical issues with me. Tech doesn't like me. Oh, I heard sound. I can hear you. I think I can hear you. Can't say something again?
Is this better?
Wow, somehow your audio got worse. I can hear you. Say some. Hmm? Technical issues. Wow, is that what I sound like when I speak Yiddish? I muted him or them. You know what? I actually forgot to ask pronouns, which is terrible. Someone always remind me ask pronouns because I'm terrible at it. It's a new habit I'm trying to work on. So, all right. I think Hermes is back. If this doesn't work, we'll just end the stream. It's as good a time as any. Oh, I can't hear you at all. It's not the right audio thing isn't selected or it's not working. Because it is dead silent. That's how you know, guys. It's how you know. We have a private chat. Let's see. Seems like good a time as I know technical issues. Good a time as any to go to plug links. Eh. A good time as any to also plug in the adorable shirt that I'm wearing, you guys. This is custom art that was made for my birthday, specifically for Hellenic Herald of Zeus, making a electric animal. Oh, okay. You're talking, I can't hear you. Use the chat. Hello. Please stand by. We're having some technical difficulties. Here, I'll make something pretty so you guys can look at it. Oh, wait. I hear sound. I hear sound, Hermes. Can I do it? Here, well, let me see. I can do, let's say a 1 minute ad break and see if we can't figure this out.
No. Si. Ok. Voyons voir.
I think I hear you.
Semblerait que.
So we took actually, I think we're taking a 1 minute ad
Seem
break.
to be sound again.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me. Okay.
Seems like technical issues are also, I don't know, part of. Okay. You can hear me.
Yes.
One minute ad break. Okay. Okay. So I see that my mic is working again, but I cannot hear you anymore. I was hearing you with a very distorted voice, and now I cannot hear you anymore. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, if someone really wants a reading, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was about to say this is Mercury retrograde something, so let's not push it, maybe. um, but so yeah, if someone really wants a reading, I could do another one. But we could also stop. Yes.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
we're
they
back
can.
from the ad break.
Uh,
Can you hear me now?
this is my Instagram, and if someone is interested in a reading, they can just message me there. There's something about readings on my page, but I'll direct them from the Instagram. Yes, thank you so much for that.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to
Oh,
get a reading from Hermes,
okay, so
you can find them on Instagram here.
wonderful.
Hermes, we're gonna say bye to you. We're gonna say so bye. And okay, so let me just say thank you to them real quick, and then type fast, you guys. So they're actually technically here. I've just shut them off from from the stream. But yeah, so you can follow them here at this via their Instagram. If you want to get any more readings from them, you can contact them through that for readings. And even though they can still hear me though, but so thank you so much for coming on as our guest. That was amazing. We're gonna have more guests, so lots of hearts. We actually have guests sign up for the next 3 weeks, so we're gonna be having a different diviner here every week. So make sure you come back. So we're gonna be showing off different methods, as we talked about in the beginning, the different types, like different decks that they use are methods. Those rune stones that they used, in case you didn't catch it in the beginning, is ones that they actually made, that Hermes actually made. So like awesome. So we're also gonna I'll try to figure out how to do like a screen capture or something and share it on our Instagram so we can link directly to them. And if you guys aren't on our Discord yet, come join us. Hermes is there, and we also have lots of other people who are happy to reply to tags for divination requests, and we talk about primarily Hellenic paganism. So primarily focusing on the Greek and Roman gods, but we do have sections for the Egyptian pantheon, since we mentioned that today with the Egyptian tarot deck, as well as lots of other pantheons. And we have some support sections and just a really great community. I'm actually really proud of the community right now, because like looking at it, it's been about a year. I don't remember. I have to think about it, but we have a beautiful community on Discord, and I'm thrilled that I have so many guests and so many people signing up to to contribute. So I'm going to hang out for a bit. If y'all want readings from me, you can click, do exclamation mark join. I'll do like maybe like a couple readings before jumping off and getting ready to go to the gym, I guess. So I got a skedoodle at 11. So is anyone looking for more readings? I have my Mythic Oracle deck. I have the regular tarot deck, which is there. I lost it on my desk. My regular tarot deck, and I do have my alphabet stones since we were doing. We could just end it here. I feel like if no one wants any readings in the next like 5 minutes, we'll just end it here. We'll end neatly at 10:30. I am also going to take some time. I do have stuff to do. Thank you. I know you guys are awesome. I hate it, but you're awesome. Because I'm like, I don't want to do my work. I don't want to go to work. And you're like, no, we could end it. Go to work. You're 100% right. So what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say I'm working on the calendar for next month. So we have a couple of holidays coming up. So if you are in the Discord or if you have some thoughts, we have, I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Where is my lovely calendar that we made? There it is here. We have 2 holidays. I think we have the Lesser Mysteries and we have something else too. So we have a couple holidays coming up. So we're going to be doing that. We also are going to be doing a ritual with, of course, the Southern Hellenic polytheists, Southern California Hellenic polytheists. And I just got shaders for my Minecraft. So the Minecraft streams are going to be dope. It looks amazing, you guys. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see. We have some other projects coming up. Yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff. So I'm going to put out the calendar on the Discord, and I'm going to try to make sure to put it out on the Instagram and Facebook too, and the Tumblr about all the stuff that's going to be happening next month. And we're going to start doing some art contests. We just pinged it in the server. So we have some amazing artists in the server. I'm really thrilled. All these great guests. So thank you to you guys. Round of applause. Because, like, you guys are the ones making this possible. And if anybody cares, because we talked about tea on the server, I'm having Lady Grey that was sent to me from England. So I'm really thrilled about that. We talked about talking about tea on here, about having different drinks and stuff. I just forget to do these things. I'm more excited about the divination and the history and the stories of people. So that's just me. I ran out of things to talk about. That was it. That was all the announcements. Oh, thank you. Ironically, this is also a gift. Not from England, from Ohio. A relative of ours has a friend who does pottery. And so it's actually like a custom mug. You can't buy this. So it's very fancy. I have lots of little custom things here. This is my favorite one. This is knitted specifically for me. Lots of nerdy stuff. I haven't done a gameplay in a while. I should play Hades again. You know, and get my ass kicked. That's okay. If I'm gonna get my ass kicked, might as well get it kicked in Hades. Do we call it Hades? Yeah, it's a very common style, I will say. I've seen a lot of I think there's just certain shapes that are just easier to do with pottery. I would love to try my hand at it. And I love the like watercolor painting. It's really sweet. And I do love the key. Oh shit. I was about to say I love the keyhole. It kind of reminds me of Hecate, and then I just like get one of those like mine moments. So apparently now this mug is for Hecate. Hecate's been popping up in my life. So if you're an expert on Hecate, please help. She's been very quiet. As to the game, how is it? The Minecraft game or the Hades game? Because Hades is hard. It's harder than I thought it was gonna be. Like, sorry, I want to be like right directly in front of the mic here. Hades is I'm not winning. Let's Minecraft is Minecraft. Minecraft is Minecraft until you guys see what it looks like when it's got shaders. Oh my gods. Like I got so excited. And I should have, it was funny because my husband was like, we should have streamed this. And I was like, you're right, we should have streamed it because I was losing my shit. Like it looked amazing. And I got so excited. I went through all the places and gave my husband a tour with the shaders on. I was like, look at the leaves. Oh my God. Like, and it just really gives it a whole, it really brings it to life. That's what it does. But anyway, no, Hades is kicking my ass. I'm not doing well. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point. You just keep doing it and doing it until you get better and better, right? I still love the artwork as much as I've played it, which is like a good, like, maybe like 10 hours or so at this point. I'm still, every time one of the gods pop, I'm still like gawking at them. Like, it's so beautiful. This is one of those things I should see if they sell posters for it. So that's right. Why do we follow Master Bruce? So we can get back up. So I don't know when I would do the play streams. I would probably be more inclined if someone wanted to play with me, or like we could stream together while playing. I don't know. But it's because I just play like whenever I get a free moment, but it's not like a schedule, and I kind of want to have it on schedule so that you guys can be like know what's happening. But I just don't have a particular time, and I've got other things. I love doing Hellenic Herald stuff, but I do actually have to do my work. So, and speaking of that, it's 10:30, so I will let you all go to have a wonderful day. And I am so, again, big thank you to Hermes Apollo for joining us as our diviner. We have new diviners every week for the next couple weeks, so make sure to come back and see the different kinds of divination. Check us out on different platforms. And thank you all for joining. I appreciate it, and I hope that the messages you got were relevant to you, and may the gods bless you on your journey for the rest of the week. What day is it? Thursday. Yeah, we only got one day left, so woo. Well, 2 days. Woo. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.